Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to be tackling something I think a lot of us struggle with,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how to integrate healthy habits into our everyday lives
Right.
without it feeling like a total chore.
Right.
So to guide us on this deep dive, we have this awesome source,
Yeah.
health and lifestyle integration. And this one is really for anyone listening who wants to up their health game, but maybe feels kind of intimidated by the idea of making like huge sweeping changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
We're going to uncover some really cool stuff from this source, like how starting small can actually make a huge difference,
Mm-hmm.
and how the environment around us can either sabotage us
Oh, yeah.
or totally set us up for success. It's
Okay.
like we're even going to get into some ninja-like ways to sneak in more movement throughout the day. So
Okay.
get ready for that.
Right.
All right, so let's jump right into the heart of this lifestyle integration thing. What is it all about?
Well, it's really about recognizing that those gradual, sustainable changes, they're way more effective than trying to do a complete 180 overnight.
Right.
You know, it's not about being perfect all the time. It's more about finding that consistency.
Yeah.
The source really hits on 3 key takeaways that I think are super important.
Okay, lay 'em on me.
First off, start simple. Don't try to change everything at once. Second, set realistic goals,
Okay.
ones that you can actually stick with. And third, celebrate those small wins.
I love that.
Because those little victories,
Yeah.
they keep you motivated.
That's so key.
And they help you build momentum.
Okay, so small changes, consistency over perfection,
Exactly.
and celebrating those little. This actually reminds me of when I first started trying to like prioritize getting enough sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm someone who used to run on like 6 hours,
Yeah.
maybe 6.5 if I was lucky,
Hmm.
and I knew I needed more. But the thought of suddenly like forcing myself to get 8 hours felt impossible.
Right, right.
So I started small. I just added 15 minutes each week to my sleep schedule, and it felt totally manageable.
Yeah.
Before I knew it, I was actually getting closer to 8 hours. And the difference was amazing.
It's great.
I was waking up more energized, more focused, and just overall feeling so much better.
That's a perfect example of what we're talking about. It shows how these little tweaks can have a ripple effect.
Totally.
And lead to some pretty significant changes in the long run.
Now, the source also digs into something that I think is often overlooked, and that's the power of our environment.
Oh, environment is huge.
It's like our surroundings are constantly sending us cues,
Yes.
right? Influencing our choices without us even realizing it.
Yeah, think about it. You walk into your kitchen after a long day. What's the first thing you see?
Ooh, yeah.
Is it a big bowl of fresh fruit? Or is it a, box of cookies sitting right there on the counter?
Tempting me.
Exactly.
So it's about making those healthy choices.
Yes.
The easy choices, right?
Absolutely.
Setting ourselves up for success by creating an environment that supports our goals. The source actually recommends something called a pantry overhaul,
Oh, yeah, the pantry over.
where you basically go through and swap out those tempting processed foods with healthier whole food alternatives.
Love it.
Out with the chips and in with the nuts and seeds, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And another thing they suggest is finding a workout buddy,
Oh, that's a good one.
which can help with accountability and make exercise more
Oh, it's
fun.
so much more fun.
Right. It's less about forcing yourself to go to the gym alone
Yeah.
and more about having someone to share the journey with.
I think that social aspect is so important.
Absolutely.
It helps keep you motivated and engaged.
Totally. Okay. We've talked about setting up a supportive environment, but what about the exercise itself?
Okay.
I mean, let's be real. A lot of people kind of dread the thought of working out.
I know.
So what does the source say for those of us who aren't exactly gym enthusiasts?
Well, it challenges us to think about exercise in a different way.
Okay, how so?
It's not just about those intense hour-long gym sessions. It's about finding ways to move our bodies more throughout the entire day.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the source calls this sneaking in movement.
I like that.
It's like a little game.
Sneaking in movement.
Exactly.
Okay, give me some examples.
All right, so instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs. If you're on a phone call, pace around while you talk.
Okay.
Even during commercial breaks when you're watching TV, get up and stretch. Do some squats, anything to get your blood flowing. These little things might seem insignificant on their own,
Yeah.
but they really add up over time.
You know what? I've actually started doing something similar at work.
Oh, yeah.
We now have walking meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of sitting in a stuffy conference room,
Yeah.
we get outside, walk and talk.
I love it.
And it's amazing how much more creative we are when we're moving.
There's something about that fresh air and movement, right?
Totally. All right, so we've covered environment, we've covered exercise. Let's move on to something equally important, and that's how we nourish our bodies. Right. The source really emphasizes the idea of mindful eating.
Mindful eating is so important.
It's not just about what we eat, right?
No, it's about how we eat.
Yeah.
It's about slowing down, paying attention to those hunger and fullness cues, and really savoring each bite.
I've tried mindful eating.
Yeah.
And it's definitely harder than it sounds.
Yeah, it takes practice.
It's so easy to just, mindlessly scarf everything down, especially when you're busy or stressed.
Especially then.
But I know it's worth it. Because when I do manage to eat mindfully, I feel so much more satisfied.
And you're more in tune with your body.
Totally.
You can tell when you're actually full.
Yes.
Which can help prevent overeating.
Now, the source also recommends planning meals in advance.
Oh, meal planning is key.
Which seems simple enough.
Yeah.
But it makes a world of difference.
It really does.
When I have a plan, I'm less likely to make those impulsive, unhealthy choices when I'm hungry.
Absolutely.
It's like I'm setting my future self up for success.
Yeah, you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. So far, we've covered creating that supportive environment, incorporating more movement, and practicing mindful eating. But there's one more piece to this lifestyle integration puzzle, right?
Yes, there is.
And that's prioritizing rest and recovery.
Rest and recovery are so crucial.
In our go-go-go society, it's so easy to neglect this part.
It's true.
But the source stresses that without adequate rest,
Yeah.
all those other healthy habits we've been talking about, they're going to be less effective. It's like we're trying to build a house on a shaky foundation.
That's a great analogy.
Right. So one of the key things the source suggests is establishing a consistent sleep routine.
Yes, that regularity is so important for your body.
I know.
It helps regulate your hormones, improves sleep quality, and just makes you feel more rested overall.
And it's not just about the quantity of sleep, right? It's about the quality, too.
Absolutely.
Are there any other rest and recovery strategies that the source recommends?
Yeah, it encourages us to explore different relaxation techniques.
Like deep breathing or meditation. These can help calm your nervous system, reduce stress, and improve sleep quality.
So important.
And for those of you who are into fitness, the source reminds us to schedule in those rest days.
Oh yeah, rest days are key.
They're not a sign of weakness. They're essential for allowing your muscles to repair and rebuild.
Absolutely. Wow. We've really covered a lot of ground today, haven't we?
We have.
From tiny habit changes to mindful eating to prioritizing rest. It's all about finding what works for you and making those healthy choices a part of your everyday life.
It's about progress, not perfection.
I love that. So if you're feeling inspired and ready to start integrating some of these awesome strategies into your own life, make sure to subscribe to Evo Health 360 right here on this platform and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms at Evo Health 360.
We're sharing tons of tips and resources to help you on your journey.
Absolutely. Until next time, stay well.